Okay, this video is a little bit on our point of sale system and for those staff who will be closing out the night. In case you come up to the computer and it's not open and things aren't running, you just click on the right venue user, and then you'll get a screen just like this. There's no login for it, and you'll want to go up here. And these two programs right here, Venue Communications and Venue Process, both have to be open at all times when the point of sale system is working downstairs. So if it stops working downstairs, it could be that these programs have shut down, or somebody accidentally turned the power off to this up here or something. So we've opened up Venue Communications. Now we're going to open Venue Process. Okay, now it's showing our anything in green right here means that those are on. Anything in red means that they're not connected. And we know that Cafe is not connected. That's an extra point of sale system that we have. Concession 2 we know is connected, but it's just turned off. So what's going to happen is we've got a file that needs to be activated here, and I'm not quite sure what it is, but it was probably a change in movie times. And so I activated that, and then right here it says not synced, not synced. Your cashiers will let you know if their point of sale monitor's not synced. And so what we need to do is we need to select it and sync it, and select it and sync it. Now just because you're syncing those two doesn't mean that Concession 2 is going to sync. The only way that it can sync with the server and the point of sale user interface is if it's turned on. So this will need to be turned on, and when it does get turned on, it'll tell the user that it's not synced, and somebody will have to come up here to the computer and just open up, go down here and open up the movie reel, which is the Venue Process, and select Concession 2 and select sync, and it will sync them then. So we're pretty much here just to go over the closing procedures though, and this is at the end of the night when it's time to bring the money up and put the money in the computer, and then just close out the day and send reports to RentTrack for how many customers we have. So we select the login, and there will be people's names here to log in. Of course, I'll go down to my name, and I'll put my password in. And what this does then is all these buttons up here now light up. They're colored now rather than shaded. And so for the night process, the first thing that you'll want to do is set your receipts out and your money. And I'm just going to grab a couple of these. So you'll get your slips like this from your cashiers. And this one doesn't have anything written on the back of it, but it should. It should have 100, 50, 20s, how many there are. And then of course you'll have your cash, and you'll want to put your cash with those slips, because you'll count out each slip in the amount of cash that each person had. And so we'll go to the little safe, because that's the button that you need to go to at the end of the night, and it's called Cash Control. In Cash Control, you'll start off in the first tab. The first thing you'll need to do is count out your drawers. So, and this gives you an idea of who you've had working that night, and everybody needs to be signed out or deassigned from their system. So this tells us right now, since we're doing this in the middle of the day, that there's 2 people assigned to cash registers right now, or 1 person actually. 2 have been deassigned. Alexandra was deassigned, and that was for the purpose of making one of the earlier videos. And then Luke Sheeler has deassigned, and he had deassigned this afternoon when he went off shift. There's 1 person assigned, which is Alexandra, and she re-signed back in this afternoon after you made the video. And so what I'll do is I'll pick one of these, and all you'll do is, since you have their slip here, is you'll look at their slip and you just count it. So go down to count, and on this right hand side it will allow you to enter how many $100 bills they had in their till, how many $50 bills, how many 20s, how many 10s, how many 5s, how many 1s, and how many quarters. And there's also a spot for checks if anybody would write a check, but we don't permit checks. If you ask for permission and it's somebody that I know, then I might allow it. Or if it's from a group that's buying a large amount, then we'll take them from groups. And so you put your nightly closing amounts in there, and this will be the total amount that they had in their cash drawer, which should equal $230.50. And then we always start with $160, and so after you finish putting that amount in, then that 160 will be subtracted out, and that will tell you how much that person had. So since Alexander's there, I can sign her out right now. So let's just say, for the sake of it, that her drawer had had 5 20s, 10 10s, 6 5s, and had 2 quarters. Okay. Now that shows me that her drawer was even. She wasn't over and she wasn't short. This tells you how much that she pulled from her drawer, which would have been $70.50. So that's actually how much cash you'll have to deposit up here with you. You'll have $70.50, and that will match what she has here on her slip. You'll put that, you'll go to the next person, which would be Luke Sheeler. But first you have to hit save though. Once you're zeroed out there, you hit save. And it says over short is $0. Is this correct? The important thing is if you don't put in the right amounts and it says it's $20 short, don't hit correct. That's correct unless it's absolutely correct. You can go back and change things by hitting no, and then recheck your work, and then save it. And if it's all correct, which I know it is, hit yes. All right, now let's look at Luke's, because you'll go through and do everybody, because at the end of the night, everybody will be deassigned. Luke's total cash in his drawer should have been $373.25. And I have Luke's stuff right here that he gave me, and so and I keep everybody's tag here and with their cash. When he counted out $372.25, which would be $1 short, $372.25. And so, and I didn't see that when he left. I would talk to staff about that, and then put it in. And so, for the sake of time, I'm not going to put all this in, but I'm gonna put it up here. All right, whoops, I put 972, so it wigs out. Let's see what happens when I put the wrong thing in. All right. So look at there, it says I'm over $599. So when I go to save that, it's going to say, hey, wait a minute, you're over $599. Is that correct? I'm like, oh, no way. It was only $1 short. And so I look and I put 972 instead of 372. So I'll put 372.25. That's what he counted out. And it says $1 short. And that matches up with what's here, $1 short. So I'll save that, and yes, it's $1 short. But before I select yes, let's count it and make sure. All right, and whoever's managing that night needs to be at the till with each staff when they count out. So you have 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160, 180, 190. 195, 200, 210, 211, 212, 213.25. So he said he only had 212.25, and there's 213.25 here. So that means that he did have the right amount. He had 373.25. So I'm going to say that's not correct, because I know that he had 373.25. 373.25. It says 213.25, and just for sake of it, I recount it: 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 180, 190. There's 200, 210, 211, 212, 213, 25. So 213.25 right there is the amount to pull. That's the cash that he made during his shift. So I'll save that, and I know it's correct, and so I save it. All right. And at the end of the night, there won't be anybody left in here, but I can't deassign Alexandra because she's still helping customers. So after the end of the night, when you've gone through all of the people here, you'll go from the cash control box over to the end of day box, which is the little door that you go out at the end of the day. All right, and what you'll hit here is you'll initiate. Oh, I forgot it. When you're in the drawers and you're done with the drawers, you have to go back to cash control. All right, and you have to hit select all, and that tells you the amount of your deposit for the night. And sitting in front of you for tonight, that's how much money I should have with me to deposit. And that's how much the staff's going to deposit at the end of the night in the bank. They'll put it in an envelope with a receipt, a deposit slip, and that will go to the bank. You hit this button, deposit current amount, and then it lets you finish the day. But I can't hit that because our day is not finished yet. So let's go to end of day. You would come to the end of the day after you hit finish deposit, and you'd hit initiate. What initiate does is goes out and collects all the information from all the terminals and tells the terminals, hey, it's the end of the day. And then after this button complete lights up, you hit complete. What that's going to do is bring up a box here in the middle of the screen that says, are you sure you want to change to the next day? And it will give you tomorrow's date. And that's when you select yes. The reason we can't do that now is because we're still in the middle of a business day. After you hit that, then these boxes become checked. There will be a check mark in the count cash drawers box, and there will be a check mark in the deposits, because you've done both those things already. Then in this box right below it, you can click and get a cursor, and you add your comments for the day. So anything that was important that day, if you had any concerns or anything, you type them in that box, and then after you're done typing, you hit add comments and complete end of day. When you click on this button right here, a whole bunch of stuff will happen. There will be some blue bars coming across, and all it's doing is just compiling all of the information from the day and saving it in the archives so that we have that for reports. After that's done, then you'll come over to this side, and it's not important that you run a summary report, so you can actually click on that and take that off, but you have to run a ticket summary report. All right, that sends the report to our movie buyers, and it sends a report to RentTrack, so that studios know how many customers we had that day. And then after you make sure that that box is selected, which it'll always be selected anyway, hit run reports. And when you run a report, and it'll do the same thing, it'll act like it's working, and there'll be some information come up, and then it will say report sent. After you're done there, you're done with the computer. What I would like you to do, though, at the end of the day is I'd like you to go up here to process, to this spot here, and I'd like you to run me a report and send it to me. And so the reports that I want you to run is I want you to run an hourly sales report, and when you come over here and to try and run a report, it's going to give you tomorrow's date. So you have to go back and select today's date, and then go down here and view. And as you view it, this is a report that will come up, and it tells you everything about the number of employees that we have working and the salaries they're getting paid, and then our sales, labor to sales ratio. And the reason that I want this is I just like to look down here and make sure that this number is at 25% or less. Right now it's at 87%, but after we get moviegoers tonight, it's going to go significantly down. This just means that our movie sales for the afternoon have been horrible to the number of staff that we've had working. All right, to send this to me, all you have to do is click on this little box right here, and it brings up a send to. And then what I want you to type in is view and brew at gmail.com. And then all you have to do is hit send right here, and it'll send me the report. And you'll watch that work, and it's done. Then hit return, and that'll bring you back to reports. And I want a sales summary report, which is right here, summary report. So you'll click on that, you'll go to the correct day, which when you're closing out the end of the night, it would have said June 12th. You want to go and select June 11th, the date that you're actually on. Click view, and this will give us a sales report for today. Just scroll through it, make sure that everything looks okay, the right people who are assigned to what cash registers are there. Then click this box down here to email it to me, and then view and brew at gmail.com and hit send, and it will send it to me, and then return, and basically then you're done for the night. And all you have to do is click on this red X on the right hand side, and it brings you back to the main screen, then just do a drop down for both of those, and that's it. So whoever works on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at night might want to just close all programs out and restart the computer, just like you restart your computer at home. Just click on the arrow, go to restart, click on restart, and just let it restart, and then and then click on the venue user again, and then start up the two programs up here, so that there can be communication still throughout the night, in case the company that manages for us wants to log on. And that's it. How long was that?